All right. Guess what time it is? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Link. All right, let me post the message in Discord. Perfect. All right. Good morning, Gary. Good morning, Bavish. Good morning, Tim. Let's get it started here, man. So the continuous jobless claims coming in slightly under the forecast of 3,470. They're coming in at 3,390. So slightly under. So a positive. Iffy, top of the day to you, my man. TJ, good morning. Praveen, what's going on? I feel great. Good morning, Joshua. Tiffany, good morning. Ed, good morning. Daniel, good morning. Relicon Inc., good morning. Talay, good morning. Temojit, good morning. Everybody, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, so we're just going to stick around here about 5 minutes, and then we'll get right into it. We'll start off with what we usually do, the market outlook, and what we think is going to happen going forward, and then we'll address individual stocks that you guys have questions about, and then we can take it from there. If you guys can hear me loud and clear and you can see the screen very well, let me know. Give me a thumbs up in the chat so I know things are good to go, and we can get going in about 4 minutes here. Let's take a look at a few tickers that are making some movements here. Let's take a look. All right, we're getting some thumbs up. Perfect. Everything is good. Audio is clear. Awesome, awesome, awesome. If you guys are tuning in and you're here already this early, go ahead and do me a favor and smash that like button. Not even sure what it really does, but I think YouTube likes it. Let's see. Perfect. So, about 2 more minutes and we'll get right going here. All right. I'm excited about today's session. Nice. We got people rolling in here. 2 more minutes and we'll get it kicked off. And we'll get right into it. Let me get rid of this craziness for you guys here so you can look at it nice and clean. You probably guys looking at that chart thinking, how the hell does Mr. Investor understand what's going on his charts? So I'll clean it up for you guys here. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Edgar. Sky, happy Thursday, my man. All right, got about a minute and we'll get it kicked off. Nancy, smash the like button. Indeed. All right, we'll just wait a little bit longer here, and then we're gonna get right off. Brad, good morning. Laxman, good morning. All right. Mr. Needham, good morning, man. All right, guys. So it's 8:35. We're gonna get kick started here, and we're gonna get right into it. All right. So what do we got? We had, a nice consecutive move, slow grinds to the upside in the market, and we knew the QQQ was kind of leading the way starting about a week and a half ago. We kind of started seeing the Qs getting a little bit of a relative strength against the market. Mentioned this about maybe 2 weeks ago that I'm starting to see some money come back into tech. We're starting to see some bottoming patterns come back into tech. If you guys are in the Discord, the timelines around September, October, when these things are really going to get going again. And if you've really blinked and if you've hesitated to buy your favorite stocks at around those 200-day moving averages, they're now moving. They're moving away, and a lot of people are starting to buy at these higher levels here for their long-term investment. However, with that said, what happened here, guys? We came down and we put in a candle that was below the 50-day moving average on increasing volume. And look what they did. They bought it right back up, right? Right back up. It's happened before, right? We've talked about this like tons of times. Never bet against the market. Always understand where you are in the market, right? Dip, pop back up. Dip, pop back up. Dip, pop back up. Dip, pop back up, right? So it's happening over and over and over again, right? I remember on this day particularly, lots of people in the Discord were saying, oh my God, I'm seeing videos about people saying major support levels were broken on the SPY, which I don't see really. If we're at all-time highs here and we come down a little bit, what major support level are we breaking? So I didn't really follow that. And again, just have your own opinion. Don't focus so much on, oh my God, the world is going to end, or oh my God, the market is going to explode to the upside. Have your levels, trade your levels, understand what those levels are, and if you need, then you can adjust accordingly. All right. So getting into the closer time frame here, what is this level that we're looking at here? This 422.80 and this 422.60 area was a level that we respected a lot back in what is this, June 17th, right? We see this level was respected and rejected. We came up to it here again, respected, consolidated, broke above, right, with increasing volume, and then we respected that level almost all day yesterday, right? Now here we are again. We popped back up after respecting that level. Now we're at the 424.50 level. All right. So as far as the market goes, we're testing all-time highs here essentially a little bit more. I think all-time highs is 425. Let's double check that. All-time highs is 425.46. Okay, so what are we looking for here? We need this 424.55 level to hold, right? It's trying to hold here pre-market. We just got to dip down to it right now, getting some buyers. Ultimately, this level needs to hold. Okay, if this level holds, then we can look for moves up to 425.60 and then higher. Okay, give me 1 second here. Yes, so if we hold these levels, then we can look for a move to the 425.40 level and then adjust accordingly, okay? But as far as the downside goes, if we lose this 424.50 level, we can most likely come back to that 422.80 area where we have that major support area as well, right? Also lines up perfectly with the 200-day moving average, 200 moving average on the 15-minute chart, all right? Now, if we go to the QQQs, let's take a look at the Qs. All right, Qs, same thing. We had this big resistance area at 348, and we are now above that level. All right, if we maintain this level, we can see a move higher towards the 349.40 level. The 349.40 level is where we're at right now. And if we break that, then we can see a move to 350.17 and then 352. Right, so 350.17, which is coming up shortly, and then 352 right up here. okay? Ultimately, again, on the downside, we need to hold this 348. If we lose that, we can come down to the 348 and then the 347 area, which is right here, okay? So, but we got to also understand where we are as a market, right? If we look at almost every ticker here, Tesla, let's look at the daily chart. Things have been kind of moving up nice and steadily, right? Let's take a look at SBCE, right? Everything is moving up nice and slowly. What's another one that we can look at? Even let's pull up Fubo. You know, everything has been moving up nice and steadily, and most things are starting to come into resistance here, okay? Not to say you need to lean bearish, but you need to understand where the market is as well as where every single stock is on an individual basis as well, right? So same thing with Apple coming into this resistance area at 135. Let's take a look at Microsoft. You know, this recently just broke above all-time high, so it could see some resistance above this area as well. So just we always need to be aware of where we are as a market as a whole, and we do that by looking at the SPY, looking at the Qs, looking at the ETFs, so we can establish, you know, are we super extended? Do we need to pull back? And how to kind of gauge going forward, right? When we were coming up to these levels here and getting super extended from the 20, we do expect some sort of a pullback, right? And that's why we kind of pull back into the 20 and the 50, and then we kind of move up higher. Here, we're still pretty tight. We're still pretty tight. What can happen ultimately if we break above this and get some strength is a great sign. But we really need to see what's going to happen. What's really concerning me is these three little increasing selling pressures. But again, we need to see what's going to happen, and we just gauge it day by day. All right. So now, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and shoot it to me in the YouTube video, and that way I can go over any tickers, any stocks you guys want me to take a look at, and answer any of the questions that you guys may have. Let me go through the chat here. At least we can't feel bad losing to the Habs. That always stings. The Leafs lose to everybody. Mr. Needham, great call on Tesla. Tesla was great. You know, that entry that we got, that 635 was solid. So hopefully this continues and gives us our targets in the days to come here. Amazon. Somebody's talking about Amazon. Let's take a look at Amazon. So Amazon, here we are. Kind of had this W formation, this W reversal or double bottom, whatever you want to call it. This neckline break was the key entry on this one if you wanted to trade it to the long side. Coming into resistance here at the 35.50 area and having some resistance, and you can clearly see that resistance happening right now, right? So what needs to happen going forward? We either need to reject and form some sort of a cup and handle breakout, or we need to break out fully, come back, retest, and hold that level for a move higher. All right. Amazon, big range here, stuck at this 3,500, 35.50 area for a long time. If it does break it, it needs to show significant buying, like a move like this, big buying volume. And then if we get break above that, retest and hold, you can look for entries on the long side. But again, it's got to be a short-term thing. Unless you want to cost average at all-time highs, which puts you in a pretty tough spot if you're cost averaging from the top of the chart. All right, Tesla. I think most people know my analysis on Tesla here. We had a beautiful ascending wedge here, reversal pattern. We broke out of, you know, this top 635 area. 690, 720 definitely possible in the days to come. We have slight bit of increased buying pressure happening here. Need to see this continuation to the upside here. Short term definitely bullish, long term even more bullish on this one. Roblox, please. All right. RBLX sitting at 85.40 currently pre-market. So we have this move down into the 50-day moving average, and we kind of reversed over it yesterday. All right. The only thing is that didn't have increasing buying volume here. So the volume is slightly low. We can very easily reject this 20-day moving average or this 86 area and roll over. Ultimately, if we need to get this higher, we need to get above this 86.36 area, and then we can look for a move towards the 90. All right, currently a little bit choppy, a little bit sideways. We did get a good sign breaking above this 83.40 area. It should see a move towards 86, but that's where it really needs to make a decision. Above that, we move higher, and if we reject, we can ultimately come back to the 77 area on Roblox. Facebook. If you guys ask me any questions about meme stocks, I'm just not going to answer them. So AMC, BB, those will be ignored. Facebook, nice breakout on it yesterday, but it got stuffed. Good thing is it closed above the 339.90 area, now sitting at 342 pre-market. This should see more continuation to the upside. We did trade this in options yesterday. Once it broke that level, pushed up, sellers came in, but it closed above the 339, which closes it above this little flag area, this consolidation area that it has. Let's see if we get a movement to the upside on it if market conditions stay pretty strong here on this one. Jumia. Jumia's support level I got at 24.55. I will probably add around 24.55 in my long term. This is probably my only long term that's just getting me an ass whooping at this moment. Before it was Neo, but Neo is doing pretty good now. Now Jumia is the only one in my long term that's hurting me a little bit. But it is what it is. I'll average down to 24. I know what I own, and I'll ride the wave back up. So 24.55 is your next support level on Jumia, and then you're looking at possibly 19.50. FRX symbol changing to body on Monday. What are your thoughts? I don't really think changing a symbol will affect anything really. I mean, the chart has flattened at around 980 because that's what the SPAC price is. Whether the symbol changes to body or FRX, I'm not really sure it's going to make that much of a difference. Company valuation hasn't changed. Not much has really changed in terms of the stock. So if this is something that, if you understand what it is that BODY does, and Beachbody, I believe it is you're talking about, and if you like the company, then you need to invest long term. In the short term, there's really not much in this one. Let's take a look at BA. So nice move on, I guess this was on Monday, and just a little bit of a consolidation here. Ideally, you need this to get back above 245, or it can roll over here, which wouldn't be the greatest look here. But we have this buy volume, some consolidation happening here. Don't like these wicks here. Maybe it goes sideways a little bit more before breaking out, but it needs to show its face. We'll see what it does above 245.60, or we'll see what it does below that 243 area for it to make a direction. In the long term, I do think that these airlines still have a little bit of more room to go, but in the short term needs to show its hand before we make any trade on it. SSYS from the watch list. I mean, if it's on the watch list, I've kind of talked about it already. So break of the 2630 can send it. Is Wish a good swing trade? I don't like Wish. There's too many pumpers on it, and I don't trade those stocks. But I mean, if you want to gamble a little bit on Wish, you could throw some money in it, because they're saying like targets of $69, which is ridiculous. But you can't bet it. You can't put anything against the market these days. If you can't have AMC go from like $6 to 75, you could try to ride the wave there. Tesla, we just talked about. Nvidia got another upgrade today. So trying to consolidate here a little bit after this big massive push. Don't like this wick on it, but ultimately if it tries to get back above that 775, it might ignite, and we have a fib line here at 825. I do think this could get tested. If this continues, if we get a breakout over 70.75, I think we do see 825 in the days to come on NVDA. Let's take a look at Neo. Nice move here, pulling back into the moving averages here. ultimately we need this to get back above 86.05, 86.50, and kind of continue higher here. Right now in the pre-market, it had a nice push, but it's kind of selling off here with the market. Market's kind of pulling a little bit here, back under that 824.55 level. So it needs to stay above the 20-day moving average here. If it does, we can continue higher. Again, this is something I'm holding long term, and I'm not too worried about it on the shorter term here. Tesla, I just talked about. CCIV. If you guys bought CCIV, you needed to understand that this is a long-term investment, right? There's nothing in the short term on it. I don't see a short-term pattern on it. If it gets back above 27.70, maybe it tries to gap fill to the 32. But again, it's something that you need to just kind of buy and hold. This bottoming pattern kind of happened here at 17.16, and we're kind of curling around now. And we'll see how far this really goes. But in the short term, it's not something that I would trade. ORGO. ORGO, not bad. Over the 1708 area, can send it towards 1825. Pretty nice tight setup here with a lot of the names kind of curling around here. I would want to see this above the 1710 area for a breakout trade over towards that 1830 area. PLTR. PLTR, we talked about this yesterday. It got above that 86.20 level in the pre-market, making a nice move here. It does have room to come towards that at least prior high here, which is around 27.50 and then 29 area on PLTR. So it should see more continuation, given that the market doesn't do anything freaky today and take a big yank. Shop. I don't see a cup and handle on Shop. Did someone say cup and handle or forming a cup? Oh, maybe forming a cup. So yeah, I guess you could say this is kind of a cup that kind of broke out here. But look at this move. We went from 1200 all the way up to 1550. Starting to see some exhaustion here at these levels. We could very well see a move back down towards that 1330 level. PLTR just talked about. Twitter, beautiful move here. Once it got above this level, you could have had entries for this gap fill move. Gap fill move filled perfectly well, and all you really got to do, you're getting increased buying volume here. It can very easily come up to the 68.50, 69.50 area on Twitter. If you're not in, don't chase it. Live Nation Entertainment. So again, this 94.63 area acting as resistance on it. Not much of a setup on it here. Maybe if we consolidate and then take the break of the 94.50 area, or if we break out, retest, hold, and then you can take a long. Otherwise here, not much of a setup in it, not much of a trade in it for the short term. Let me take a look at the weekly. Yeah, see, so that's the thing. It's a weekly, it looks nice. You're right. We need it to break over that 94.40. If we get this break over this 94.40, that'll give us a nice multi-week breakout, and it should ignite it. So the volume is picking up, which is a great sign. But really need it to get back above this 94.60. Sorry, 94.50, 94.60 area. MNMD. Let's take a look at MNMD. So not much here. I mean, ideally, I wanted this thing to break above 395, $4 to kind of ignite it higher, but it's getting selling pressure and it's kind of rolling over. So no trade on this one in the short term. Roku, massive move on Roku. If you're not in it, don't chase it. 429 will be a nice resistance area on it. Increasing buying volume is happening. Very hard to chase this up here. I've been watching this thing since the 377 break. Was expecting consolidation at 394. Didn't happen. We plowed through that resistance, and here we are at 429. Not something that I would chase on the long side here. APPS. APPS? Oh, shit. Sorry. I can't type right now. APPS, just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Nice falling wedge pattern coming out of here, popping above the prior high of 68.50, moving up here. Ultimately, this 65 area, which is an area that I guess I just saw rejection in the pre-market, 77 area would be the next area before we see some sort of resistance, some sort of selling, and then continuation higher. Ideally, this could come back up to the 88 area if we see this pan out accordingly. So short term, if you're not in, you need to wait for the next level of consolidation to take place. But the entry here was around 68.50 on APPS. Shop, I think I just talked about. What program is this? This is TD Think or Swim. Can you check Live? I think I just checked Live. We talked about that. PPSI. PPSI, same thing, right? Obviously, back in January, we had these massive moves on every names, pulling back here. Some sort of consolidation happening here. Not much that I see in it other than, you know, it's respecting that 200-day moving average above both moving averages here. If you understand this company and know what it does, and if you find value in it, maybe you can start a position in the long term on it at this 200 level. In the short term, if you want to swing something short term, you really need this to pop back above 487, maybe $5 area, and then see if you can get a run. But too much resistance here on the upside, that might be an issue for it, right? So maybe ideally over 510, you can get a run towards the 590 area. Will Think or Swim on Yes, Think or Swim on TD. Plug, nice move after their earnings here. Again, a name that's been bottoming out. That's found, some reversal happening here. Over 34.60 on Plug. We'll send it to the 37.68 area. This will most likely be a day trade for me if I do see this ignite and get going. In the short term, in the swing aspect of it, you could try an entry here at 34.60. First target's 37.68, and then see if you can get this fill back up to the 48 area by moving your stops to your entry on this one. All right, guys, so I'll take a look at a few other ones, but before I leave, make sure you guys smash the like button. And just a reminder, every Thursday we do go live 8:30 a.m. Eastern time on YouTube, so make sure you guys are here every week. Can you talk about the swing trades, please? What do you mean, can we talk about the swing trades? Not sure what you mean by that. MAXR. Nice push here, nice consolidation. This break of this 39.64 area would have been a pretty decent entry. Nice consolidation here going sideways. Targets here 41.86, and then above that you can very easily get towards 47. But this needs to ignite and this needs to keep going here. All right. You could try it here. Stops at 37, possibly 36.50 for a move towards 41.80 and then 47. OKTA for day trade. Let's take a look. 245. It's sitting at 245 right now. I don't know. Not really a fan of this daily chart for a day trade. Maybe if it got above 248, I would consider it for a day trade. But other than that, there's too much bag holders overhead here on OKTA for a day trade. Don't see a good daily setup on it to take it for a day trade. Zim has been a strong chart, very well respecting the 20-day moving average here. I think we had a trade on this a while back, and it actually shook a few people out, but ended up hitting targets. Anyways, over this 37.40 area can ignite it towards 57. Entries, PTs on SFIX. SFIX is a good chart. I mean, I put it on the watch list, but it's not a perfect pattern here. The only thing is it's coming down here. We have this nice bottoming wick in it, respecting off of that 20-day moving average. Entries anywhere between 60, 60, 61. Stops would be around like 57, 56, 50 area, just to be safe. And then targets of around 72 on SFIX. All right, guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash the like button. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I will catch all of you guys next Thursday. As always, if you have questions, reach out to me on TikTok, Discord, whatever the case may be. I do answer all my DMs as much as I can. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. And I will catch every single one of you guys next week. Have a wonderful day.